2024 begins with a bang. We have Mercury stationing direct on the 1st of January, so things can start really moving more forward for us in more clarity, as Jupiter also just stationed direct on the 30th of December. And then on the 20th of January, we have a very, very big day, as that day Mercury goes out of shadow and the Sun and Pluto conjunct and ingress into Aquarius, which officially marks, to me, the age of Aquarius that we are moving into. And this is also a 20-year transit that will completely transform humanity and the world as we know it. And then we also have on the 13th and 14th of February, which is traditionally Valentine's Day time, we have Mars conjuncting Pluto at this 0 degrees of Aquarius. So this is also a time where we can expect more violence in the world and just more ruthlessness in general, criminal activity. But on a personal level, we could expect ourselves to just feel much more empowered. We can feel more that we have more willpower to push through and to push something forward. But it is important to really use temperance with this intensity at that time. And then on April 20th, we have Jupiter and Uranus conjuncting in the sign of Taurus, which is a rare event. I also cover what this has done in the past in my 2024 astrology highlights video. So I will also link that below so you can check it out if you like. But on a world scale, this is a huge, could be a very huge unexpected event. But with Jupiter involved, we would hope that it could be mostly beneficial and liberating in some way. But of course, this possibly has to do with Taurian, Uranian, and Jupiterian themes. So this leads us to agriculture, food, banking, financial currencies, and so forth. And with the ruler of this conjunction in Taurus, Venus, is currently in Aries at the time of this conjunction. And in Aries, she's actually in the Duad that's ruled by Uranus and Saturn, which is an Aquarian Duad, which again leads us back to the Sun and Pluto ingressing into Aquarius on the 20th of January. And that Aquarian digital energy, and Pluto, again, financial, powerful shifts. And with the Sun, with that initial ingress, I feel it really just indicates more, like a leadership kind of legislation. The 11th house, Aquarius, very much deals with legislation in regards to big financial shifts. And then, of course, we have Mars as the dispositor over Venus, the ruler, at the time of the conjunction is in Pisces, where it's more subdued emotional energy. But it moves into its own sign, Aries, on the 30th of April, which is only 10 days after this conjunction, where it can then move forward with action towards plans. And then we also want to look at what is Venus like when Venus is in Aries, as she is the ruler of this conjunction. Venus in Aries is more aggressive to what she desires. She will very impulsively move towards partnerships and alliances, and she can have us be just more aggressive with our social expression. So that can also give you more of an idea of what can be going on at this time. And then in May, we have, at the end of May, the 25th of May, we have Jupiter ingressing into Gemini. So this is very positive, I feel, as it brings a lot of tolerance between us. It strengthens community, our sense of community and compassion. It makes us more broad-minded, and it also brings in much more information and curiosity at this time, and definitely much more communication. And then this year we still have the nodes in Aries and Libra. So we are moving from the partnership dynamic with the South Node in Libra to the more to exploring the more individual dynamic of North Node in Aries, where we're more also aware of our rights and freedoms and what we want to move and initiate moving forward. This is also the axis of me and the other. This is also the axis of peace and war, love and war, which is what we are facing in the world right now, with Mars and Venus ruling the nodes. Now we will also, and actually you can think back at 2004 and up to June of 2006, the nodes would have been in Aries and Libra at that time. So you can think about connections and themes that you may have had at that time as well. Now we will have eclipses in March, April, September, and October. Now, in my opinion, the April eclipse is going to be one to watch. Of course, we have activation 6 months prior and post with eclipses, so it's not necessarily that day, but that's definitely a theme to watch. We also have our first Pisces eclipse in September, as the nodes will shift to Virgo and Pisces in February, I believe, of 2025. And we have a very fire energy this year, as we have all of our retrogrades in fire signs this year. We have Mercury retrograding in Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And then we have Mars retrograding at the end of the year, December 6th up until February of 2025. And this Leo house has been really a big theme for you in your chart, as we had the Mercury retrograde there in August of 2024. 2023, we had Venus retrograding in Leo. And now we will have Mars retrograding there as well at the end of the year. So the Leo house is going through some transformations, definitely. And we are definitely learning about standing in our autonomy and our sovereignty with all this fire element going on. So this year I really feel like there's very much a theme of blue and red, with the Aquarian emphasis and the fire emphasis, and very much that blue and red pill, making big choices, Jupiter and Gemini, choosing sides, the duality of Gemini as well, and the mental energy of such a strong Aquarius, and then also Jupiter moving into Gemini this year. So there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of decision making, moving forwards with that North Node in Aries, initiating. And this really is a year where we have the courage to pursue our passions with conviction. And we are marking our uniqueness, our unique differences, which strengthens our communities. And it strengthens us in humanity as a whole. And through this strengthening, we allow room for creative innovation, which once again propels us forward and helps us to move upwards, upgrading more, which is also Aquarius. And this is all while we are protecting our individuality in the face of huge earth and cosmic shifts. I would also highly recommend taking good care of your lymph this year, your lymphatic system, your immune system, and also cleansing the blood regularly and detoxing. So I would highly recommend suggesting supportive herbs such as holy basil, turmeric, milk thistle, and cayenne pepper. This is not medical advice. Have a blessed 2024. Welcome, Taurus rising. This is your 2024 astrology horoscope potentials. Now, Pluto has been in your ninth house since 2008 of religion, beliefs, travel, higher learning, preaching, teaching, philosophy, the father, other people's opinions, in-laws, grandchildren, and so forth. Now, Pluto usually begins by breaking down the area of life it moves through and then rebuilding it transformed and renewed and aligned with our truth. Now, you've been passing through Pluto's complete transformation since 2008, searching and finding out more of what your views, your faith, and beliefs are in this world, where in the world you belong, and usually through some kind of crises, in this case, maybe even in places far away or in foreign places, but gaining wisdom and growth throughout these experiences. This could come to a potency point now with Pluto at its final degrees of Capricorn, with a cautionary note on not becoming fanatically obsessed and possibly shoving views down other people's throats, so to speak. But this growth period of your connection to the divine will carry wisdom forward for you. Pluto will now ingress your 10th house of Aquarius on the 20th of January, 2024. In 2023, it was briefly here for a few months, so you can think back to March, April, May of 2023. To what themes may have come up for you at that time. So overall, you will be gaining insight into what your goals are for the future in regard to your role in the world, how you are perceived, what you do for a living, and most likely you will make permanent shifts in your career in order to align your direction in life and what you do to your inner truth and belief systems that have now been changed or have become more important to you with Pluto spending so much time in your ninth house previously. So in some cases, this can also be end of life stages or loss of a parent, receiving an inheritance, your role changing as a parent. But with Pluto in this area for the next 20 years approximately, you could feel like you're becoming a new version of yourself, your true self, and a type of death and rebirth recurring here, also in how others see you, which can affect all areas of your life, including your relationships and also your place of living. Now, Neptune has been in your 11th house of Pisces since 2011 and will be there until 2025. Where you've been getting in touch with more of the deeper meanings and aspects affecting society and of life, and deeper connections with friends. Your intuition is stronger in regards to your friends, and you may have even become aware at times of deception in regards to friends or groups or affiliations you've had, even politically or religiously. Some of your friends may have addictive or self-sabotaging habits, which could bring you in as a support system or a mentor. And in other cases, you may have found or may still find that you have come to find great support within a group you belong to, or a friend or a coworker. With Neptune here, our ideals become more spiritualized, and we may want to align our friendships and groups more towards this as well, which can mean people can come in and people can go out of your life with Neptune here. In some cases, Neptune here can also indicate the possibility of a death in the family or a friend whilst Neptune transits this house, if other indicators also point to something like that. But keep in mind, Neptune will be here until 2025. Now, Uranus has been in your first house of Taurus since 2018 and will be here until 2026. So you may have experienced quite the ups and downs in your health, also with work or your career, your relationship, and even in the area of your home and where you live in general. Uranus here can cause stamina fluctuations, a change in your look, bringing in themes such as a change in diet, drugless healing, alternative methods and treatments. The neck, the thyroid, and any body parts ruled by Venus and Taurus should be treated with extra care while Uranus is here. And if there is any unbalance in your body will show you with, for example, tinnitus in order to bring back equilibrium. So it's important to really stay mindful of what your body is telling you at this time. Now, extra caution with electricity, lightning, use of machinery, explosives, vehicle use, travel, and unexpected events are more possible now. New and interesting and different people can enter your life or exit in strange ways. You may be very intuitive now and more interested in things beyond this world, possibly, even astrology. Uranus here can help you to be more creative and allow you to really investigate your sense of self. You can become very inventive. And Uranus here will most likely sit, or your will have your sense of self sit quite differently once it's completed its transit. It's important to remember that what you earn and own is not a reflection of your worth. Now, Saturn has been in Pisces from March 2023 in your 11th house and will be here until March of 2025. And this can be a period of time. Now, this is the same area where Neptune is. And this can be a period of time where you finish up issues from the last few years, but you may also meet a mentor or a wise friend or expert that can advise you in some way, especially in regards to your future goals. You may experience changes in friendships, like I've mentioned with Neptune there as well, or groups that you belong to. Your political views could change or become very strong, where you may even want to be an activist in some way or make a difference somewhere. Now, for some, this can mean certain regulations at work or more responsibility at work. Getting along with coworkers can be more challenging for some. In some cases, it can indicate that your business, if you have one, or the company you work for example, may be going through some financial trouble or some cutbacks of some kind. You may have to be more of a friend to someone. In rare cases, if other transits support, there can be an illness or a death in the family. This house also deals with your children-in-law. But positively, it is a great time to gain observation and experience, and also wisdom and maturity about your dreams and goals for the future, and how to go forward to obtain them. If you've worked hard towards your goals up to now, and you've been diligent, Saturn is very rewarding. If not, some can be disappointed with Saturn here, but you will be schooled on how to remedy through these transits and their path, and this can then in turn be used as a time to lay some strong building blocks for your future. Now, Jupiter has been in your first house of Taurus since May of 2023 and will be here until the 25th of May 2024. A discovery of your true self. You may have learned much about your perspective and your effect on others. You may realize you desire more meaningful connections and interactions, and you may meet more interesting and different kinds of people and experience more joy and optimism regardless of what life throws at you. You can also meet disappointments with more optimism and faith with Jupiter here. It can indicate pregnancy or childbirth for some, or a long lost child returning, or a child playing a more immediate role at this time. There's more opportunities, also financial opportunities, travel and study opportunities, teaching or preaching. connections to the law, foreign people or places, or travel with Jupiter here. Also, in some cases, dealing with the law, your spouse, joint resources, a death, sex, and intimacy can all come up for more attention. And also at this time, you'd want to avoid overindulgence, as Jupiter here can add to weight gain and all on like a very much sort of just a hunger that sets in, and also an all-knowing attitude on a lower polarity. So you really want to rein it in as far as over what's the word? It's escaped me. Overindulgence. There we go. Now, it's an important time to take more care of your liver now. Milk thistle is also recommended if you do drink alcohol frequently, or if you have any high toxicity intakes or high sugar levels. Jupiter also rules your 8th house. Therefore, whilst this is mostly a positive transit, some may go through some crisis depending on other factors in their charts supporting that, which can change you permanently in a very deep way. So it can really lead to a discovery of your true self with Jupiter here and bring you closer to God in your faith. On the 25th of May, Jupiter will ingress Gemini, your 2nd house of finances, for about a year. So you can also think back about 12 years ago, as Jupiter would have been here in this area, also bringing its blessings to this house. Then you can see what similar connections there might be. Now, Jupiter here brings opportunities for better investments, maybe even foreign, for increase in income or gain in possessions or property, work related to foreign interests or children, or studying more, or getting married, or gaining confidence and feeling more confident financially. You may have to spend more money on something, or make huge expenditures, or spend money on children, or an overseas trip, or maybe a higher education or a lawsuit. But Jupiter here can be at a lower vibration and overspender, and can also overindulge, there's the word, in pleasures, comforts, and food as well as alcohol or anything that allows for escape from everyday stress. So you may need to start asking, do I really need this? Or is this just a want? And is this frivolous? You may, through circumstances, increase your spiritual values and sense of self-worth. How you manage the material world now will lead to more wisdom and understanding of your inner self, your morals, your beliefs, and your values. What's really important, and how do I identify with what I own, what I earn, etc. Faithful in little, faithful in much. Overall, a very positive transit that can also open up better work opportunities for you and business opportunities. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea here. And then on the 20th of April, 2024, Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct in Taurus. And you can listen to my more in-depth discussion on how this may affect the world in positive and negative possibilities if you click on the link in the description box below to my 2024 mundane forecast for the collective. But for some, this can be a wonderful time for growth, sudden opportunities that enhances freedom and evolution in some way in this area of your life, new discoveries and innovation regarding Taurian and Uranian international themes. But this will be taking place in your 1st house of self, your identity, your physical appearance, and your body's health, how you approach life, your perceptions, and yourself versus the other in relationships, especially one-on-one relationships. And then Mars. Mars will be ingressing Capricorn on the 4th of January in your ninth house, where you could be dealing with more intellectual work or have to defend your beliefs more. You may want to share your views with the world. You want to travel or work abroad or publish something, study something, or end studies of something, or start a business with imports or exports. Take a trip. Maybe it involves work, safety. You may be more interested in searching or researching the deeper meanings of life, philosophy. You may preach, or for some, this can indicate legal issues. This can involve accidents abroad or actions involving the in laws, your father, a teacher, or even a foreigner. And then one thing I also forgot to mention was with Saturn also ingressing in, well, not ingressing, but in your 11th house currently of Pisces. With this strong Pluto presence that you've had for the last 15 years in your Capricorn ninth house, and with all the emphasis now with that Pluto moving into that powerful point of your 10th house of career, and also Saturn in your 11th house, if you've been studying something for a very long time and you've been working towards a master's degree, also now with this Mars emphasis on the ninth house, it can be a real initiation of those final steps with Saturn in Pisces in your 11th house of achieving a master's degree or really taking things to that ultimate mastery level. Now let's move on to Mars, moving on to your 10th house of Aquarius, which will be on the 13th of February. This is where you can work hard on something you're passionate about, or where you may want to work hard because your identity and your how you identify with whatever it is that you're doing is extremely strong at this time. Mars here can sometimes indicate an independent project or working on something by yourself or for yourself. There can be more possibility of tension or even stress in the workplace with a boss or in a group dynamic with Mars here. It can cause more conflict in some cases between coworkers as well as the public. Some can decide now to quit or to change jobs or positions, or to rather work for themselves, as it can feel as if your efforts are being put down. Emotional instability can appear now, or emotional outbursts. You can find you are naturally more selfish at this time, or having to think this way for some reason. It is important now to be more cooperative where you can, if possible, and to learn from any criticism that you are receiving. You can make huge progress here if you avoid engaging in the opposition and rather use it as a fuel for your determination to get the job done, rather than keeping your mouth shut and just get it done. Get the authority on your side, even if you do that for yourself. For some, Mars here can have you work or have your work go quite viral or public in some way, or you may end a partnership or leave a marriage or meet someone new, maybe even while working. Either way, this transit can affect all areas of life: conflicts versus home and career, partners, and your physical health and approach to life. This transit will keep you busy, but you'll also be able to get a lot done. There's definitely more opportunity here for you to be more accident prone. So think before you do, especially if you work with machinery. Think before you speak. Be mindful, as you could be dealing with more aggressive behaviors in your day-to-day with work in general and with the public. Drive more carefully, take better care of your health, This could be a good time to really also think about maybe supporting your health with a adaptogen such as holy basil to really help you with high times of stress. This is not medical advice, so please consult your medical practitioner. And these transits can also affect a parent, as this is your 10th house. That's on the parental axis. And then on the 22nd of March, Mars will ingress Pisces, your 11th house, where you may be more actively formulating goals, rethinking them, and you may be actively pursuing them or preparing to do so. Your work is more geared towards the future now. Mars here can sometimes make it harder to work within a group dynamic or a team environment, as you're naturally more selfish with a transit like this. You may have more tension or friction with coworkers, and in group dynamics, more chance of conflict between friends or groups that you belong to, even political affiliations. Therefore, working by yourself or more independently in some way can be better. Focus on being more cooperative with others. This can be great for new inventive ideas, for group sport, etc., because you're acting upon your future during this time, and your work must have some sort of personal connection or gratification to it and connection to your future. This is also a time where a lot of friends can fall to the side if you've been growing sort of apart, if you've been growing in areas apart from others. On the 30th of April, Mars will ingress Aries, your 12th house, where you can possibly be working more behind the scenes or more from a distance, in the background, or maybe remotely in a faraway place, or you may be taking a break from work, changing how you do things, or taking a much needed holiday or retreat somewhere, where you can work on your inner psychology. During Mars's transit here, you can find that your subconscious behaviors can come out in uncomfortable ways, creating strange experiences with people where you communicate in ways that they do not understand, or what you're trying to say or carry over is taken the wrong way. Or you can make this, or with this placement, you can make the wrong impression much easier, especially if you are impulsive. Secret enemies can come up with this placement. Gossip and harsh words can be going on right now. It's important to avoid upsetting situations and people if traveling overseas. Be more careful as you're more accident prone now. Self-sabotaging behavior can be brought up now to work on, such as unhealthy sexual obsessions, drugs, alcohol, talking badly about others, etc. This is a great time to go for counseling, to work on something by yourself, to work on yourself, to ask yourself, where am I defeating myself? This is also a great time to channel your pain and work on healing any emotional turmoil and frustrations through helping others, volunteering, being compassionate, giving, focusing on others' pain and taking care of yourself, bettering yourself, and becoming more whole through compassion towards others. This is also a transit that can indicate secret sexual love affairs in some cases. On the 9th of June, Mars will ingress Taurus, your first house. This is your house of self, where you may feel more energetic, more assertive, and action-oriented towards your approach and perspective on life and your identity itself. Mars here can bring an increase in energy, libido, aggressiveness, impulsiveness, energy fluctuations, hormonal changes, and in some cases you can act more selfishly with Mars here. Or you could have just a very short fuse, possibly not as willing to cooperate or compromise much. It would be better, therefore, to rather work alone during this time, if you can, or more independently. You'll want your own way more, maybe have more arguments or confrontations, but you'll be able to accomplish a lot now. You're in go-go mode with Mars here. A new man or love interest or new work opportunity can present itself now. You're more accident prone with Mars in the first house, as well as more susceptible to health issues such as headaches or inflammation, and so forth. You also want to be really supporting your body's self-defense at this time with Mars, as Mars can make it more easy for bacteria and foreign things to actually penetrate the body. So think before you speak, do, drive, etc. It may also be a good time to check into the condition of your vehicle. Now on the 20th of July, Mars will ingress Gemini, your second house, where you may be taking practical action towards change in the area of your work, how you earn a living, your committed relationships, your past, and your family, and also possibly your diet. Mars here can have you try out more spicy foods. It can have you eating faster, therefore be more cautious regarding choking. You can feel more busy. You may have some teeth work done with Mars here. Also weighing options here. Mars can have you spending more money now or more impulsively, so be cautious. For some, this can indicate buying a home or property. You may be working more on your home now, adding comfort and functionality, cooking more. Some could be thinking of working from home or starting a business. This can be a higher chance also of injuries to the throat or neck area or to the lower jaw and teeth. Also inflammation. Arguments can arise regarding income, financial topics, ownership, property, possessions, etc. You could be deciding on when to take action regarding investments and all the topics I just mentioned, buying and selling, and also defending your values. Your self-worth and how you identify with what you own will all be up for growth. Remember, you're not what you do or own, and your worth cannot be measured by that. It's a great time to cut any negative ancestral influences and transform these from darkness into light, breaking patterns. I'm just going to take another sip here of my tea. And then on the 4th of September, Mars ingresses Cancer, your third house, where you can experience emotional ups and downs. Sometimes this can involve family, friends, neighbors, or siblings. You could be more busy doing paperwork, overthinking, or making decisions, multitasking, taking a new learning course, actively learning more, or teaching, or even dealing with new technology or technological issues. But more everyday busyness with appointments and schedules and so forth. You could have more topics like your vehicle condition, your commute to work, or your surrounding neighborhood come up at this time. There's more possibility for arguments with neighbors, or there may just be more construction in your area, or maybe you are helping a neighbor or working on mending that fence. There can be more emotional conversation connected to your mom or your home or family, friends or siblings in some way. Some could be working on a speech or have more activity connected to social media or even arguments there or debating. Be more cautious driving, as you can be more accident prone now, and impulsive, so think again before you speak, as this transit can have you using harsh words, especially due to the more emotional mental stimulation at this time. On the 3rd of November, Mars will ingress Leo, your fourth house, where you can experience emotional ups and downs. Sometimes this can involve a family member or a parent. Past subconscious feelings can come up now almost explosively. You can spend time moving or working from or on your home. There can be more fighting at home or a sense of wanting to live alone. It can feel as if someone's trying to block you in some way, or maybe even you're blocking yourself in some way. So this is a time where it's easier for you or a parent to get injured at home as well. Be careful of fires and knives in the kitchen and so on. Try to be more compromising where you can. Avoid being overly bossy and demanding to those around you. There can be more violence and action in your place of birth or ancestral roots or home or location. Mars will also retrograde here, and I will cover that when we get to the retrogrades. Now, let's get to the retrogrades. I'll only be covering the personal planets in this summary. Now, Mercury will be retrograding in only fire signs this year, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, but it will also be in Virgo with the Leo retrograde. Now, Mercury will retrograde in your 12th house of Aries from the 1st to the 25th of April, from 27 degrees Aries to 15 degrees Aries. Now, this is a time where there might be a compelling inclination for withdrawal or tranquility. Some individuals may experience a strong attraction to explore their inner psychology. Mercury can deliver messages from dreams, the unconscious mind. Keeping a record of these dreams can be advisable during this period, as it might offer valuable insights. Recollection from the past may also resurface, even past lives for some. There are moments when it might seem like you've been left to navigate alone without anyone to assist. This feeling can stem from the realization that only you have the authority to determine your way forward. Regrets might permeate this period, accompanied by a sense of sorrow about what could and should have been, maybe a sense of grief in some way, dealing with loss. Be compassionate with yourself. Release the burden, and if you find yourself entangled in a lot of shadowy thoughts, consider giving, the tale a more positive ending, having faith in your ability to make decisions and to independently be able to move forward. Your spiritual journey receives a large boost with this retrograde in the 12th house. As the external world diminishes its power over you, you may discover heightened psychic awareness and increased sensitivity to more subtle energies. Synchronicities may resonate with you more vividly. The period opens the door to spiritual renewal. Engaging in meditation can really assist to liberate your mind from constraints. Create a sacred space for yourself and connect with the world. Connect with your soul and engage in prayer. Mercury will retrograde in your 4th and 5th houses of Virgo and Leo from the 5th to the 28th of August, from 4 degrees Virgo to 21 degrees Leo. Now, while it's in your 4th house of Leo, your dwelling serves as a sanctuary. So is it really your essence? If life has felt stagnant, the energy within your home might be stagnant as well. So this can be a great time to shake things up by, redecorating or rearranging your furniture or, revamping an old piece of furniture. So take a renewed look at each room, attempting to see it through the eyes of a stranger. What does it say about you? And, what is there that no longer has any significance for you? Where can you minimize or purify or change? Where can you make something more your own? The 4th house signifies your foundation, encompassing your childhood and your roots. So reflecting on the beliefs instilled in you during your formative years that still resonate as true can happen at this time. This period may unveil negative thought patterns or subconscious behavioral patterns that's been controlling you and been in control of your life. So this can be a great time to become aware of this in order for you to transmute that. Embrace the opportunity to pose fundamental questions without fear. Past family and childhood matters might reemerge, prompting a journey down memory lane. Reestablish connections with your family and seek reconciliation with your past. This can also really bring up a lot of memories. So this can be a time where you might be going through a lot of photographs as well. While Mercury is retrograding in your 5th house of Virgo, you might find yourself reassessing a creative project or a business venture you're looking to kick off, perhaps contemplating and evaluating various options. It's advisable not to initiate anything new or launch a project during this Mercury retrograde phase. Instead, utilize the time to research, make improvements, adjustments, and so forth. Communication challenges may arise, or you might consider topics related to parenting, possibly assisting your child in restudying for a test, or this period provides an excellent opportunity to rekindle your sense of joy and the ways that you have fun, also in relationship. Reconnecting with a child or a lover through laughter. Past lovers or relationships might resurface in this time, providing a chance for resolution or healing. You may encounter a bit of a writer's block in terms of self-expression and creativity as you're going more inward during this time. So, sometimes we do need to go inward before we can powerfully move outward again. So venture out, engage in social activities, attend a theater performance, spend time outside, get re-inspired, let your inner child out, and explore the meaning of life. Now, Mercury will retrograde in your 8th house of Sagittarius from the 25th of November until the 15th of December 2024. And this will be from 22 degrees of Sagittarius until the 6th degree of Sagittarius. Now, you might find yourself reviewing shared resources, businesses, and spousal agreements, the dynamics of give and take in relationships, financial balances, taxes, debts, and other joint financial matters. Consider the need for wealth redistribution, renew insurance policies, and be mindful of expiration dates. It's advisable to refrain from taking out loans or mortgages and avoid new business investments during this period, as there may be potential issues or delays with jointly held resources. Now, this phase can prompt discussions about sexual matters, trust, encouraging divine intimacy through open communication, reflecting on past intimate relationships that can enhance your understanding of personal needs. The energy of the 8th house supports letting go of the old, facilitating mental cleansing. So be prepared for potential revelations of secrets or hidden aspects, making this period conducive to psychoanalysis and various forms of healing. I'm just going to take another sip of my tea. All right, now Mars will retrograde in Leo from December 6th till the 23rd of February 2025. And this is the same sign that Venus retrograded in 2023. And it's also the same sign where Mercury retrogrades in August. So this is an active house for you that you're really reevaluating at this time. So this is your 4th house of home and family. Now, Mars usually represents energy, drive, and the pursuit of goals. And when it goes backwards, this dynamic energy turns inward. So people may find themselves doubting their wishes, aspirations, and plans. And this phase invites a re-examination of the direction one is going in, allowing for a more mindful approach to reaching your goals. The backward motion reminds us that slowing down and revising strategies can be as important as moving forwards. So how do you spend your time? And how much do you actually enjoy your work? Where do you need to have more or less fun? Topics involving children can also appear. During Mars retrograde in Leo, our actions become more spontaneous, yet reflective. This period can prompt us to utilize our exceptional synthesis skills, enhancing the effectiveness of our endeavors. As a result, we exhibit less passion, but we gain composure and we become more efficient in our actions. Earlier this year, as I mentioned in August, Mercury also retrograded in Leo and Venus in 2023. So what have you learned? What are you learning in this area of life? Leo deals with creativity, love affairs, romance, children, self-employment, money, politics, gambling, taking risks, self-expression, rights and freedoms, sovereignty and fun, confidence. But for you, this is in your fourth house, so it adds the area of home, family, your kingdom, a parent, your past, your childhood memories, your country of origin and where you live now, your balance point to work, your most private place and most private inner workings and feelings. Now let's talk eclipses. With the nodes in Aries and Libra, the focus shifts from the partnership dynamic to an exploration of individual identity. The call is to stand up for our rights without losing our sense of self. The emphasis is on recognizing ourselves first as unique individuals. As Pluto ingresses into Aquarius, it amplifies our unique differences within the context of humanity. The North Node in Aries urges us to protect our individuality in the face of these dynamic cosmic shifts. I will be covering these eclipses more in depth throughout the year. Therefore, I will just mention them at this time. We will have eclipses in March, April, September, and October of this year. March 25th, there will be a full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Libra, which will be an ending or a culmination or a fruition of sorts, or something coming into its fullness in your 6th house of health, responsibilities, work, office space, employees, co-workers, health routines, and daily schedules. On April 8th, there will be a solar eclipse new moon at 19 degrees of Aries. This is the one you want to watch for the year. A new beginning or seed of intention in your 12th house of endings, loss, solitude, separation, institutions, spirituality, your inner psychology, your subconscious control patterns, self-sabotage, and faraway places. On September 17th, there will be the first Pisces eclipse in the Pisces Virgo axis. So this will be a lunar eclipse full moon at 25 degrees of Pisces, the first in this axis transition, a closing out, an ending or fullness of completion in your 11th house of friends, associations, groups, political affiliations, peers, co-workers, business finances, mentors, future goals, and mastery or certifications of sorts. October 2nd, there will be a Libra solar eclipse, new moon at 10 degrees of Libra. This is on October 2nd, a new beginning or seed of intention by letting go of something connected to the lunar eclipse of March in your 6th house of health. So this is the house of health, and responsibilities, work, office space, employees, co-workers, your health routines, your workout routines, your daily schedules, and even what your intake is. For example, what you eat and so forth. Well, thank you so much for listening, Taurus Rising. You are purifying your physical health and your overall well-being, body, mind, and soul this year. Letting go of patterns and habits that have held you captive in your past, embracing new financial growth, reconnecting with what home and family means to you. This year, you are powerfully taking a stand for what your truth is and actively transforming your impact on the world and of being to live a life of meaning and purpose. You can also check out my consultations and offerings on my website, which includes Wild Apothecary. I also have the link to my 2024 Astrology Mundane Highlights horoscope video below. May the sun shine bright on you this day. May 2024 be filled with blessings coming your way. Until next time.